maybe you can tell me a little bit about like what do you feel like you're good at as a player, and then what were you hoping that we could like focus on improving?
Yeah, so I guess I think I'm okay at um, like the basics of it, a little bit of micro positioning. I understand all the mechanics of the game, I guess, and I really struggle against certain things. And I think I'm pretty good in the early game, but then I think the videos or the replays I sent you really show the same thing, which is kind of letting a game slip out of hand in the mid game and late game. Kind of, I'm hoping you'll be able to pinpoint why exactly, because I don't exactly know. But and then I also you were mentioning the DAK being a very aggressive faction. Is that I'm more cautious, conservative type player. I think
Interesting.
that's what I'm struggling with the DAK in particular. I was like always 1100 something ELO with DAK, and then I was up to 1300 with Brits and things like that.
Hmm.
So and it's just like, yeah, I'm up against a wall sometimes with DAK.
I mean, to be straight, like DAC is just harder to pilot effectively compared to Brits. Brits is really nice because like pretty much everything in their roster you can just attack move with and it will perform pretty well. But with DAC, like your movement needs to be a lot more precise. Your positioning needs to be a lot better. Um, so it's harder for that reason. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. I'm looking
I
at
gotta
your.
tell you too. I recently saw your how to on the Italian combined arms group,
Mm,
and like I had never played them because I think I had this initial impression that the Bersaglieri were kind of weak. Then I started playing it, and like all of a sudden the deck kind of opened up a little bit. So both of these replays I sent you were that battle group. But I think like what I should do if we ever do this again is send you some non combined arms things, and just you'll see a little bit more of a struggle for me.
I mean, I say to players that like don't have a lot of experience that mastering like one or two battle groups is not a bad idea because it will get you comfortable with other units in the roster and I think like that consistency for people is what allows them to build the good habits. But obviously, you need to adapt based on what battle group you're playing. And there are some situations where like it's not going to be great. But combined arms is like one of few battle groups where like because of how strong they are in the early game, they're pretty much universally good. And I don't know if you saw the tier list, but like they're one of few battle groups that I put in the S tier for DAC for that reason. Um,
Yeah,
and then yeah, if you watch that video, like that game wasn't even me, that was Faragi, but like I mean, we all kind of at the top level, we know how to play them like that. But he just put on like a master class, and that was a tournament setting, so I couldn't pass up the opportunity not to showcase that game. Um,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me. So I'm gonna do. I know you said you're a little new to Discord, but basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually stream my screen to you through Discord. If you click on my name, or if you mouse over
Okay,
my
yeah,
name, you should see a button that says like Watch Stream. See that?
yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
if you
I'm there
click
now.
on it,
Yeah.
you should be able to see my screen now. I'm gonna pull up first replay. Do you have a preference on which one you want to start with?
So I was gonna send you two of this guy testing Warhead, where one he just absolutely owned me, but he was a big like trash talker,
Yeah.
and I got to face him again, and like I got so close to. And this is the closer one. So yeah, we can start with that one.
All right.
Bersaglieri are available to aid the cause.
Oh.
Comandante, we're here.
Gradschützen on the field.
Utility vehicle reporting. You have orders? Taking small arms fire here! Infantry at
Bersaglieri are armed and await deployment. We have Italian infantry arriving at the front.
I like this.
Shut it, would you? Bersaglieri in contact with infantry! Infantry! You have problems, we have answers. Territory secure. Holding the perimeter. Down! Mitragliatrice!
Bersaglieri are armed and await deployment. We have Italian infantry arriving at the front.
Pioneers standing by. Upgrade incoming.
Panzer pioneers available.
This is the famous Angeville standoff right here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would say like even in maps where it's like not a huge thing, I just like get pinned by machine guns. Yeah, it was brutal there, huh?
Yeah, you got roasted here. That was crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm kind of curious. It looks like, okay, so you were going for the cutoff, right?
Well, actually, there I was trying to attract the MG fire away from the flamer, but I guess I'm just not familiar enough with the map to know that what the MG is exactly going to do there.
Yeah.
So it didn't go so well, let's say.
I think it was just a combination of the fact that you're on top of the Aussie squad, which has really good close range DPS, and then just the fact that the machine gun just, I don't know, got some really good hits and just completely roasted this squad like so quickly.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a map specific thing, but you'll notice the firing arc on the machine gun is a little bit funny here. And yeah, okay, it's on the bottom. You can actually get through this arc pretty easily because look at this line. See how it's just intersecting with the walkway here, the walking point? So you can actually squeak around this corner without him shooting at you or without him suppressing you. I get what you're trying to do here, but you actually didn't need to do this.
Yeah.
Because if you just quick walk around this corner, now he has to switch windows, and you can roast him and then move back to this side and then do it again and just go back and forth while he keeps switching windows trying to shoot at you.
Did they change something about how fast the MG?
Yeah, they fixed that. It was broken.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I know what you're talking about. It was like instantly changing windows there for a while in some cases. The other thing I was going to call out is your early game. So what you did at the very beginning was you took your pile and you sent him to the +16, right? I think what would have made a little bit more sense with your pile being your the slowest unit in your roster at the beginning of the game. Instead, send your Bursa Bite combo over here instead. Because it's more open, and because there's more open space, they'll be able to traverse between these points quicker and capture all this up. Meanwhile, your Pioneer can safely grab these two and then take control of this. Once you have control of this, and you can kind of decide, do I need a Flamer or not? And if you do, you're already here. You're already like in the building, so you're kind of ready to deal with this nonsense. It just kind of put you in a better position in the early game to deal with that. Because like what happened over here was like you brought your pile and you're like, oh god, I need a flamer, so you had to walk it all the way over here to try to deal with this, right? And in the meantime, he's capturing up this territory. He's putting the machine gun in the building. Like he's buying lots of time, right? Because we weren't already over here with the Pioneer. So I would, on Angleville, bring the Pioneer or the less mobile unit, especially because your Pioneer is your weakest combat unit too, right? Outside of the bike. So keeping it near a hard point like a building is really nice because if he decides to attack you, you can buy the most time and get the most value from a combat perspective out of this kind of crappy unit that's not going to be very good in the open, right?
Yeah.
So something to think about, like, and this isn't just Angeville specific, like looking at other maps and thinking about, okay, where are the hard points? Where are the buildings on the map? So that, like, as I'm moving through my early game territory capture, if I run into another unit that I'm going to usually lose an engagement against, I can jump into this cover position or this building to try to maximize my combat potential against whatever I'm up against.
Right.
So this is okay. You managed to get out.
Enemy
I thought you were maybe going to lose that squad, but you're okay.
Supply lines are cut.
Goes trade
Territory is
cutoffs.
isolated.
Be ready to move.
Yeah. So actually, I was watching this back. And I was thinking I was going to ask you was like if you watch what I do when I notice I'm getting cut off there, is I continue to cap points on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And like, should I have moved the bike and other Bursa there to just completely collapse on that section that's cutting me off, or am I?
You've got sufficient forces here, but I would encourage the bike because you want this to get to Vet 1. Getting this to Vet 1 is going to be the difference between you losing and winning a lot of these engagements against the Aussies, especially. Because this is probably, like, this matchup is probably the most one-sided in favor of the Aussies. The Aussies, because the Bursas, like, they're best at long range and they have a pretty low health pool compared to, like, a Panzer Grenadier. And obviously they also don't get the combined arms bonus too, right?
Right.
So in that aspect, they are the weakest. And so you want to try to engage the Aussies at long range. Having the bike nearby to mark targets, if they decide to try to close the gap on you, that's how you're going to beat these guys. Because otherwise, they're just going to run up in your face and blast you, and they'll win.
Yeah, got it.
So short answer is I would bring the bike. The bike is so fast, you can easily come in here for this engagement and then go back to the VP very quickly.
Orders carried out to the letter.
But this is good. You came in from an angle with your Bursas, and then you roasted him out of the cover with your flamethrower. Oh my god, that
Panzer
sucks.
pioneers reported killed.
Enemy present. We can't stay here. Standing by.
Nice,
Territory
good
lost.
machine gun positioning.
Bersaglieri. Hold Bersaglieri. Contact with infantry.
Your fuel's good. This is a little bit late. Very nice use of the machine gun. Oh, we're going tier 2. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Our territory is in enemy hands.
That I think was some specific player knowledge about this guy. Why I did that. Tier 2.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was a right move, but I got destroyed when I went with the flak
We have command points available to us.
because he just got a bunch of he got like two 2-pounders.
Right.
Work completed.
Territory sector lost.
Reinforcements. Straight from Mama.
Good. Yeah. Vehicle first, then
Has
healing.
entered the field.
Fuel income is still great.
Territory lost. A victory point is being taken from us.
Good cutoff. What's going on here? Oh, I see. Okay, responding to the...
The enemy have claimed our sector.
You need to get more in his face with this. Knowing that the only thing that he can do to you, I mean, I think he just built these. I don't even know if he had these before, but obviously, like, you're gonna do a lot more damage if you're in his face, and then you're also gonna be able to, like, try to push around and clump up his units. God, we're going for a martyr. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are we going for a martyr here? What are we afraid of?
I think at this timing, I mean, looking back on it, I think I was probably thinking the Stewart would come out at this timing, but but then again, like this is what one of the reasons I think I lost personally is if you don't like this martyr, you're really not going to like what I do after that.
MG-34 team killed
Oh,
in
that's
action.
unfortunate.
Orders carried out to the letter, Commandante. Baker has captured ground. We can't take losses like this. My squad is taking hits.
Proximity alarm near our
Yeah,
munitions point.
we need to be more in his face with this. We're not nearly active enough with the 8 rad here, especially against Aussie sections. Like these guys, you know, they have no snares, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you could literally like get all up in his face with this, and that's gonna create space for your bursts to just poke at him from long range, because he's gonna have a hard time fighting you if you're like driving around pushing his guys with your 8 rad. Oh my god. Okay, I know why you lost this game. Ugh, that hurts.
Marder tank destroyer standing by.
Okay, there's the 2-pounder. Now we need to be a little more careful, right?
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
Yeah. So instead of martyrs, what do you think I should have bought at that point?
Being neutralized
So,
by the enemy.
you mentioned that you went for 8 rad because of what had happened in a previous game with the 2-pounders into your flak Virling, right?
Yeah. Right.
So in response to the 2-pounders, the best way for you to go is Stug D. So you have your tier 1.5, and because you bought the flak already, when you build tier 2, you can build the Stug right away. And what's his name? Fergie did this in the tournament against Hulk Smash. He played Flak Virling into double Stug D. And the Stug D has so much armor that whether he goes Stewart or 2-pounder, it's actually quite difficult for him to kill the Stug with it. And if he does decide to go for it, you can always use your call-in for like a Pack or Panzerjäger to defend the Stug.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, it'll be really difficult for him to kill. And that actually allows you to create the space that you need to do more damage with the Flak Virling, because you're going to be applying pressure to the 2-pounders with your Stugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
What will it be, Commandante?
The martyrs come, but not until later. This is your solution to his tier 4 armor. Or like if he's massing Stewarts, then you want to build these, but like going double martyr before you've even seen a vehicle is definitely an overcompensation on your part.
Mm-hmm.
Territory sector out of contact. Proximity alarm near our victory point.
Mitragliatrice! Repairs completed. Bersaglieri reinforced. We're fucked if we don't move! Infantry approach! Taking out nostra!
Good.
Bersaglieri taking losses!
What's threatening this?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. Where should we be?
Should be right by that 2-pounder.
Yeah. Hugging the 2-pounder. If he crews it, we shoot at it. If he's not going to crew it, we shoot at this. Right? Because then we open up the space for us to come in with our other infantry. And we're not afraid of a Stewart. Why? Because we've got these bad boys just chilling back here waiting, right? Okay, so let's see.
Our
What do we
victory
do
point
here?
is being neutralized by the enemy.
The D-crew. D-crew again. He's just burning. He's lighting manpower on fire. We love that. There's our MG. We forgot about it, looks like.
Yeah, it's hidden behind those weeds.
Commandant, the enemy
Good flank.
Territory lost!
Give us the grenade. Uh-oh. Shooting at the wrong... Oh, no grenade. Okay.
Orders carry the machine gun target.
Yep. Good.
Bersaglieri pronti.
Alright, let's vacuum all this up, shall we?
Panzerjäger reporting in!
Orders.
Sting.
Medical vehicle at stop.
By the way, this is the perfect opportunity for you to bring your truck on the map. And I see way too many players at way too high level not doing this. So don't. So it's not a. I'm not picking on you. But like this is like a big opportunity to generate some huge tempo because you've just won a shitload of stuff from him. You've got his 2-pounder, you've got his Vickers, but all your squads, they're kind of chewed up right now. So if you can bring your truck on the map and heal them all back to full, then you're at a massive advantage when he tries to come and push back onto the field. When he inevitably loses doing that because he has nothing left in terms of AT except for the boys squad, you push him back again, and then you're able to transition over to the right side, start with the cutoff, and then work your way back up to the north and take all this territory, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what this man did to you last game, but we are so afraid of tanks. Like we haven't seen a single vehicle from him yet, and we're just stacking up AT in the background.
The enemy is civilians! They currently have
Like just
What was I
pause
doing?
here. Imagine what you could have done if you had a second 8-rad even at this point. Like
Yeah.
this guy's got nothing. By the way, do you play with TAC map at all?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Did you know this was happening?
No, I don't think I could see that. What's that? A supply truck? Yeah, I can see that.
So you can always see it in the TAC map when it's being used.
Oh,
Yeah.
has a little beacon. I didn't know
there's
that.
a little beacon on it. So something to keep an eye out for when you're playing against Aussies. You can always see the truck. And if you kill it, you get the fuel, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he was really struggling for fuel this whole game, and I just completely let him back into it.
Whoa.
Enemy forces have taken our territory.
Why did we leave this? Did we forget about it?
I don't know, man. No, I certainly I should have either shot it with the ADRAT or taken it, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this.
We just don't like machine guns anymore.
Well,
We are losing grasp of
yeah, I don't know. I don't have excuses for everything.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you, man. Don't take it personally. I was just wondering if, because I've seen some players be like, yeah, well, I don't need a machine gun because like yada yada yada, and like people try to justify it. I'm like, oh, okay,
Well, I definitely do not like him having machine guns, even if I don't want them.
Yes.
So,
I might go and get it anyway.
We have lost the transport.
Okay, this is an interesting moment.
At once.
There we go.
We shall have additional forces available shortly.
themselves. Bersaglieri reinforced.
Yeah, we're giving a lot of
What will it be, Comandante?
free space. Oh, we didn't capture it. We just walked it back to
The
here.
Movente assault guns are available to deploy, Commandant.
Proceeding field upgrade. Newfound warrior.
Stuckday assault guns and recovery vehicles are available for construction.
Okay, he's getting tier 4 now. Now we need to be a little bit
Territory
afraid.
overrun.
I was just gonna say, did you hear that sound about 2 seconds ago? That little
the
metallic
mine?
thump? Yeah. No, before you hit it.
Oh no.
Oh, I meant, okay, I should have said something out loud. So there's a little metallic thump sound that plays when you hear mines being planted in the fog. And I actually heard it right before you ran into it with the 8 rad. So something to listen for. It's a really distinct. I'll show it to you in a skirmish after this replay, or after the replays.
You know, I watched videos from Stephen JF, you know,
Yep.
and he's always talking about hearing vehicles in the fog of war and being able to tell which ones are which.
Yep.
But I actually don't. I think there may be something wrong with my sound or speakers or something, even headphones, where I don't hear that stuff at all, not even to the point of not recognizing it. Just I don't even hear it.
I mean, your audio might just be a little bit low. Some people play with audio kind of low.
Re-establish a connection.
But yeah, pretty much every vehicle has a very distinct sound. Push with the 8 rad.
Territory sectors are isolated. We must reconnect with them. We have taken the advantage. Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy. Territory isolated. Our resources are stranded. Come on. The territory sector is being
Crusaders
claimed by
out.
the enemy.
Perfect. Kill that. Another
Hostile
Crusader.
batteries are available to saturate targets in support of our efforts.
Grades do we have? Just smoke.
Report. Our enemy is on 250 points.
So
You
let me
like
ask
getting?
you- Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna ask if you like getting veteran squad leaders for Bursos.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The veterancy gain plus the damage reduction makes them scale really nicely for what is usually a pretty weak early game unit. Between that and the Bredas, like, you'll get them to Vet 3 really quick, and at Vet 3 they just way better at 3.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like it. I'm a fan. I usually go for it like sometime in between tier 2 and tier 3. Make sure I get the scaling.
The victory point is being taken from
Okay.
us.
I think we retreated a little bit too early from this. He was taking a lot of damage, especially with this Aussie squad on the approach. This squad is pretty low. I get, like, he caught you in the building with the flamer, but I really think, like, you could have probably stepped outside and just focused this guy down and probably continued to fight this while buying the time to bring your 8 rad over. Because now what's going to happen is your squads are off the field, your 8 rad's going to come over, and it's isolated. So he might show up with, like, a Crusader and just run your ass down. But hopefully you're bringing your Martyrs in to support. Let's
Victory
see.
point under enemy control. Italian infantry are ready to serve.
Ooh, okay.
Territory lost.
Tell me about this.
About
Why did we
what,
decide
those guys
to-
right there?
Yeah, why did we build the fourth Bursa here? What was the thought process?
Ooh, I don't know.
Were you just like,
I generally
he's
don't-
got a lot of infantry, like, I need more? That
No, I don't. I honestly have no clue. It could have been a misclick,
okay?
perhaps.
I'll accept that.
Our enemy has the upper hand.
Yeah, it
100 points.
doesn't make any sense. I guess. I don't know. I don't usually do that. If I didn't lose a squad, and I didn't.
Nice, good kill. See, this is the magic. That right there, that interaction is the magic of the Stug, right? He committed to it with the Crusader. He was trying to get behind it, couldn't kill it, and then you were able to come in and respond with the Martyrs to deter him and push him off, which was nice.
Bersaglieri are armed and await deployment.
Grenade. Oh, that's so unlucky.
Armory upgrade complete, Commandant.
Back to full force.
God, that would tilt me.
We can't take losses like this.
Okay.
Our
We're in a bit of a
territory is
weird
in
spot
enemy
now,
hands.
but this is very salvageable.
Proximity
Emergency repairs, I like that.
The enemy has claimed our Italian rifle net.
Okay.
Bersaglieri need orders! Weapon crew here!
Good though. Healed.
Good job, we're patient men. My crew needs orders. Anybody hit? Panzerjäger, awaiting the word.
I think here, just based on the last interaction, I just got into this manpower bind where I have all this fuel and then I just bleed like crazy and have to reinforce everything.
This guy did it to you.
Maintain
Proximity alarm near our fuel point.
Kind of joking, but also kind of serious.
COH3, burn.
Shit.
The enemy have claimed us. We are losing
Yeah,
ground for
the fourth
victory point.
Bursa really kind of messed up your
Enemy forces have
delicate
captured the victory point.
manpower fuel balance that you had going there. Got
The enemy holds all victory
repair.
points. Launch a counterattack at once. We have only 250 points remaining. We are losing grasp of ammunition. We have been cut off. Re-establish a connection.
It's good smoke.
Enemy down!
Territory overrun. Our forces are down to 200 points. All victory points are under enemy control. We must act. Enemy forces have
Oh,
claimed our
my
sector.
God. Uh-oh.
Tank destroyer and crew out of action.
Panzer pioneers fully bolstered.
Territorial sector lost.
Anybody hit?
Panzer pioneers lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bolster the front
I see the writing on the
line.
wall.
100 points remain.
All right.
Just like this.
Let me ask you. So, where do you feel like it started to go sour? I'm gonna reload this actually because I want to zip through it again.
I think that it started to go sour when I bought a martyr and then another martyr without having seen a vehicle.
Yes.
And,
Available to
like-
fight the cause.
Comandante, we're here.
And I just think it just went down the tubes there. And then I started like losing focus, I guess, and not picking up team weapons that I decrewed and just not pressing the advantage that I got. I
Yeah. You
don't know if you think I had an advantage or not, but
you
I thought
definitely
I
did. Yeah, but we like you said, you dampered
deployment.
the advantage by building units that we could not use,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
With the martyr specifically.
Bersaglieri are armed and await deployment. Our territory is in enemy hands. Supply lines are cut. Territory is isolated.
Location capture.
Mechanized combat groups are ready for selection. Territory lost.
Under HMG fire. Down.
So I still, even into 2-pounder here, I still like the flak because the flak comes out a little bit earlier. It has more DPS. It can better fight the light vehicles, your opponent's light vehicles, once it gets Vet 1. And obviously light anti-aircraft capabilities is nice too, right? Categorically, until they do something to the 8 rad, it's just categorically better. The flak is. I think you had the right idea in going flak, and then you went to. I mean, you went the martyrs. The martyrs weren't great. You had such a fantastic fuel advantage if you converted. So if you started with a flak, even the 8 rad was okay, and then transition into Stugs, then you would have been completely fine because your fuel control is exceptional. You've had this one the entire game, and you've harassed him here and then eventually taken it from him, right? Look at this dude. He's on +8. You're laughing at him. Like he's got almost nothing. So evidently there's some carryover, like psychological effect of, I don't know, something that happened in the last game that carried over here and you know, like had got you kind of scared of
Dude, I'm surprised. I'm so mad I overwrote that file because he was literally like spewing like trash talk, and I like saw his other other replays with other people. It was the same thing, and then this game there's none of that. But yeah, he
was
I guess he
locked
scarred
in.
me.
Schwerer Panzersperrwagen on station. Enemy forces have claimed our
Yeah.
sector.
So I also, if you've seen, in a lot of my videos, I talk about shock value. Have you heard me talk about shock value?
Yeah.
So shock value is we want to get the most out of our vehicle the first time it hits the map, right? In this case, that means like based on our fuel control, the likelihood that he's going to meet our 8 rad with a Stuart right away is pretty low. And that's a little bit of mental math that you're going to have to do. Now, if your fuel control has been dead even the entire game, then I might be a little more careful, right? But here, let me show you. You have a 100 fuel advantage. Okay? So the likelihood that he's going to meet you with some kind of light vehicle at the same timing as yours is like pretty improbable. And knowing that, you need to be more aggressive with this. You need to be in his face. You need to be chasing down these units. If you're going to use the 8 rad for anything, it's for chasing. Right now, you're playing with this thing like it's a flak Veerling, and it's just not. It does less damage, but it is better on the move. It is better, like has better moving accuracy. It is faster also than the flak. And so we need to treat it that way. And the way that we're going to build the advantage that we need or continue to build the advantage is by like bleeding him more. And that's going to come from like chasing his units down. And I get it. Like, you know, we're running into mines. Like we don't want to be overly aggressive and lose something to a mine. But our window, as he continues to build this like really infantry heavy composition, our window for light vehicles like the 8 rad is closing. So we need to apply pressure like pretty desperately. When your 8 rad hits the field, what you should be looking for is a squad that is low and isolated on the edges of the map to try to wipe it. And be very deliberate in not interacting with that squad until your 8 rad approaches it. Because like for example, you got like a, you know, say this squad is up here, like you just leave them there. And this pathing for your bursts is great. Like go and get on the retreat path, but intercept with the 8 rad and then go to try to pick up the kill. And that is also the magic of this battle group and this composition, is you can pull off shit like this with Bersaglieri because of how fast they are. And if you can stack up a couple of those wipes over the course of the game, it's going to give you the advantage you need to catapult into a stronger late game than your opponent's going to have. Like, yeah, think about, like, if you had a Stug here, you'd be roasting this guy, this stupid, like, blob that he's got. Like, it would, you know, he wouldn't be doing so good if we had gone for the Stug here. And remember, like, UKF has limited options for mid-game armor. They have the Humber and the Stuart, and that's it. They don't have anything else. The Stuart, like, it's it's got to go to freaking Pound Town on your Stug D for like a whole minute in order to try to kill it, because the penetration on it is so bad, right? It gives you plenty of opportunity to reactively call in like one of these Panzerjägers, which frankly, honestly, at this point, you definitely should have used the infantry call in. If considering that you didn't run into like a vehicle from him, I think the assault group would have been pretty good for you, especially with VSL. Those guys scale pretty good. And then obviously the grenades would have allowed you to flush out like his AT gun or his machine gun position. And then you can also tow his shit away. If you manage to decrew it, you can tow it away with the 250 as well, right?
Yeah.
Using this as early as possible is important because it sets the cooldown for the next time you get to use it. So by not using it for this, 11 minutes, like when you finally use this, you won't have the opportunity to do so again until 6 minutes later. So it doesn't like stack up, right? So yeah, using your 6 minute call in would have been good. 8 rad using building the advantage. I don't have to tell you about these. Like, these are fine to have, but it's just too early to commit this much to this much AT when there's no vehicles on the field.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
This play was good.
Enemy
This is
forces
really
have
good,
captured
actually.
the victory point.
So grenade here to decrew this would have been key. But obviously your positioning here is still very good. Then at this point, think about like when you wrap an engagement like this that has gone so well in your favor, use the opportunity to bring your medical truck on the field and top up your guys so that you can keep the pressure on. Because what's inevitably going to happen is like you're going to start a new engagement with him and he's going to be at an advantage because he's done some chip damage to all your units, right? But if you're at full health and you have the defensive position and the vehicle advantage, he's not going to be able to get back on the map. And then obviously, picking these up would have been nice. Help contain this crazy blob he's got
The enemy is
going.
resilient. They currently have the advantage.
Yeah.
Territory sector
Okay,
lost.
I think that pretty much wraps that one. Cool. What were like? Okay, so what like 2 or 3 things would you take from that?
One is how to use the ARAD better. I mean, you're absolutely right. I was using that like a flak fearling, and 'cause that's what I do most of the time is a flak. But I mean, getting the most out of that unit, how fast it is, how fast it can go from one side of the map to the other, chase things down, get up in non-scenario unit space, etc. That's one. 2 is just not building units for the wrong time. Units.
Available to aid the cause.
Martyrs are counter units, and so I was preemptively countering something that wasn't there.
Yeah. If so, did you say you skipped COH3? You didn't play COH3?
Not at all, no.
Yeah, okay. So in that game, it was very popular to preemptively build like the AT gun wall or double AT gun, because it was just so universally useful. And in this game, I don't really proactively build a lot of AT unless like I know what to expect from the player,
Deployed.
which just comes from being in a fixed pool of players at the level that we're at. But this is interesting. Sorry, let's finish our thought before we. Reactively is better, and because you have access to the half track call-ins in the early game, you have plenty of options for that. You can go for the Panzerjäger if you're really scared of like a light vehicle. Like obviously you're not, unless it's a Humber, you're probably not going to kill whatever your opponent's got with a Panzerjäger. But you can use them as a deterrent, right? Like you can keep him from diving you with a Panzerjäger. But if as soon as you see a vehicle, that is your trigger to like, okay, now I need a martyr, right? If I see a Stuart and I've already got a Panzerjäger on the field. Now I need a Martyr behind that to make sure, like, if he does get, if he gets a second Stuart, then I'm prepared for that because I've got the Martyr and I've got the Panzerjäger, and the Stug is gonna go, it's gonna do okay on its own as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But prior to that, yeah, like the front loading of AT, because that is all, like, if he doesn't build any vehicles, which he didn't, you've effectively spent 500 manpower, 60, 70 fuel on units that you can't use. And so all that advantage that you built in the early game is now gone.
Yeah.
Bersaglieri ready to go. What will it be, Comandante?
I like this.
Territory secure. Taking the location.
Bersaglieri are armed and await deployment.
Panzer Pioneer standing by. Infantry. Present.
Proximity alarm near our fuel point.
Let me ask you. Did you hear anything in the last, 10 seconds?
No.
No? So I heard windows breaking. Did you hear that?
Now that I didn't on this stream, but I definitely hear those in the game.
Okay. Yeah, so that tells you, right? He's probably, we haven't seen it, but he's probably got a machine gun in here, right? Or something. We don't know what yet. But you're doing a good job. You're taking the right position here. You're in a cover position. You have sight over the +10. If he neutralizes this, it's not a big deal, honestly. It's not like the end of the world, because, I mean, I say this to everybody, winning the first engagement is more important than having a good capture order. And what you're doing right now is you're setting up to win this engagement against this unit, because he's standing in the open, you're in cover, and your unit's just better than his at that. So you're in a good spot so far. I like this aggressive move on the +10. That was really nice. Love this.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
What infantry have ranged us? Call it in. We need support.
Good.
Carrying us apart.
Killed the scout. Oh my god, we're ripping them this game.
Bersaglieri are armed and await deployment.
Can we get back to work now? Evacuate! Infantry, answer the call. Taking small arms fire here.
Oh my god.
Territory lost.
Yeah, accidentally.
The play was good though, and the thought was there.
What is it? Down! Mitragliatrice! Command stay down! Statue! We have captured the location! MG! Anybody hit? Bersaglieri in contact with infantry!
I'm gonna ask you something here. Why the flamethrower?
Because I just saw he had 2 MGs, and I tend to get I just tend to have trouble with garrisons and MGs without a flamer.
Yeah. Flamer's a good option. Obviously, it's short range, right? So you need to make sure that you have an opportunity to close the gap before deciding whether or not you're going to confront it. Because obviously, if you're just running straight into it, you're going to lose it, or you're going to lose the engagement. Something else to consider. I don't know if you've tried it at all this patch, but the GRB is quite good now. And it also has a smoke ability, which is really nice for maps like this with the tiny buildings, because you can lob the smoke over at them, or you can block them, and then you can just continuously barrage them with the GRB, and that's gonna deal it. It's slower than the flamethrower, but it's also safer because you can engage from a distance. So just food for thought.
So do you attack ground or something to shoot over the?
Yeah.
Attack ground into the building. Yeah.
Yeah, what should we be doing right now?
So I have 60. I'll get the fire support.
Yeah,
Taking losses. Can we get back to
we're already late.
proximity alarm near our victory point. We have lost control of a victory point.
Peony Hunter Pioneers are engaged! Pioneers taking losses!
Research complete.
Oh no!
Superior support weapons.
Yeah, I don't know if something's wrong with my audio, but I definitely remember vividly that did not. I had no idea about that.
I was gonna say
happening.
I heard them yell grenade, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And it was a engineer satchel. Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's a bummer. Cause yeah, if you had gotten out there, I mean, I think you would have got the wipe on the engineer too, cause he was pretty low. Okay, that is a bummer.
Small arms fire! Too much of it!
We take
Orders
those.
carried out to the letter, Commandante!
The enemy have claimed our sector.
Rounds are getting through! We're engaged! Infantry! They really want us dead!
Our track support is ready to deploy.
No! We're losing men! Reporting in!
We are losing grasp of a fuel point.
Found the line! Down! Mitragliatrice!
Blank.
Territory lost.
Taking small arms fire! Jesus! Fire! AMG firing on us! Utility crew here!
Really
Our
excellent
munitions point is
fuel
being
harassment
neutralized
by
by the enemy. Panzerjäger reporting in.
That's good. We take that.
Hold the point!
So you know what? In your situation, I actually think you're better off building the Panzerjäger, and because you lost the Bersaglieri, I would go for the Assault Grenadier call-in. It's also very good on this map because of how many choke points there are. It's a lot easier to like ambush units, hide behind things, and then you're also going to get great value out of the assault grenades because you can hit the 1919s with them with the assault disembark.
Mhm.
And you're going to save a little bit of manpower because the assault grenadiers themselves are 300, but the call-in is only 275, and it comes.
Three command points are available. Yeah. Territory is now in enemy hands. We are losing grasp of a victory point.
Oh,
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
oh! Panzerjäger was a little late to the party, but
Yes, I didn't have him on what's it called? Attacked vehicles,
yeah.
prioritized vehicles.
Oh no!
Destroyed.
Oh my god, there's like a 6% chance of that happening.
I think I shot the MG or something twice with those. The Jaegers.
Now you know you can change them to prioritize vehicle while they're in the half track, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Where are we going from here?
We are losing grasp of a munitions point.
Constellation Bersaglieri, okay. Oh, we're on hold fire.
What is it?
Good flank.
Territory sector out of contact.
Ready on your work.
Definitely need a sweeper on this second bio. We're playing with fire here, hoping that he hasn't planted
Bersaglieri
more
are armed
mines.
and await deployment.
Fire here!
Our fuel point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Right complete! My squad is decimated! Orders carried out to the letter! Troopers are firing at us!
Oh,
We've done what we can. Bersaglieri ready to go!
Utility vehicle as requested.
Bersaglieri reinforced! Back to full complement!
Proximity alarm near our munitions point.
Get to cover!
Nice flank. Oh my god, you're good at that. Good job.
You have orders. Orders carried out to the letter.
Okay,
Our
let me
victory
ask you.
point is being
Where are we
neutralized by
going
the
here
enemy.
with our tech? What are we aiming at?
Tier 4 or
Okay.
tier 3. What the? I was
Yeah,
aiming for a P3.
last tier. Okay,
Um,
for P3.
yeah.
Infantry have ranged us. Men down. Warliner.
Command points are available for use.
So
Victory point lost.
Those bastards ain't getting me.
okay, gonna pause here. So I'm not a huge fan of tier 3 with this battle group because it creates this big vacuum of space between your flak Veerling, which is your first tempo vehicle, and your next vehicle being your P3, right? Your flak's gonna come out around like 7 minutes, and then at this rate with decent fuel control, you're gonna get your P3 maybe around like 16, 17 minutes. So your opponent gets like a big 10-minute window to help them control and close the gap to prepare for the P3, right? And then the P3 itself is a little bit like meh, you know, it's like it's not great, but it's okay. They get more dangerous as you get more of them in a death ball. Now, assuming that we don't know that he's gone for heavy weapons at this point, right? Because he's only ever built this GMC, and he hasn't upgraded any of his machine guns yet. So we don't know what he's gone for in terms of battle group, right?
Right.
If you do know, not that you do in this case, but if you do know that he's gone for heavy weapons, the game is on a timer. Especially if you've gone combined arms, because once the Persian comes out, you are probably cooked. You probably won't have what you need to deal with it, especially if you're planning to go tier 3, which is why I recommend not going tier 3. I think tier 1.5 into tier 2.5 is your best choice. You can go like Bursa Bolster. You can go Bredas. I think I prefer to go down into Karos at this point because Karos bridge the gap between your flak Veerling and your tier 3. And most of the time, that's actually where you close the game out with combined arms. Because his riflemen are going to outscale you eventually. With VSL, you can push that back a little bit further, but they are going to outscale you by the time like double bars in Vet 2 is when you start to be in trouble. And your troops aren't going to be standing up quite as well. The Karos keep the pressure on him to prevent him from buying bars and keep him investing in half tracks. If you manage to get 2 of them and he's still only sitting on 1 GMC, you can end the game. Because you kill the GMC and then you go into base and farm the rest of his units with your flak and your double Caro or whatever's left. Meanwhile, your Bersaglieri, while you're applying all that vehicle pressure, your Bersaglieri can vacuum up the map and apply the VP pressure to get the timer ticking. Right? But I've tested this strategy enough. I've really tried to make P3s work with this. But the reality is you end up in a situation where, like you're in right now, where you've got all these resources that were just sitting waiting to convert to a tank that's not going to move the needle enough for us. Whereas if I skipped out on the P3 and I got the Caro instead, I could have a second one out right now and I could roll over his composition completely. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you
I definitely felt that
have
vacuum.
you tried this a lot with
Mechanized
the
combat groups are ready for
with the
selection.
combined arms, like going for P3s?
I haven't tried combined arms a lot at all. I've only been playing it for maybe a week or so, and yeah, I haven't gotten a Caro in that whole week, so it has been P3s whenever I've made it that far.
Down! Comandante! Which goal aims fire here? Balls flooding over our heads!
The territory sector has been claimed by the enemy.
We can't take losses like this!
What happened here?
Maybe a little bit of miss micro, but anticipating that what's it called? Whatever that vehicle is, GMC, that
The GMC was just
anti-tank.
barraging you over here, right? Think? Yeah, he just finished barraging you over here and here. Okay, maybe a little like
Yeah.
I get it, because like sometimes when I see my opponent is just sitting there taking damage, I'm like, what are you waiting for?
Exactly.
You
I mean,
know?
that happened earlier in the game. The first time the GMC came out,
Yeah.
I was sitting there pounding that rifleman there, and yeah, that's exactly what I think. Yeah, like what's going on here.
Unfortunately, he was already facing that way.
Survival and a victory point is being taken from us.
Killed the bazooka squad. That's nice.
Victory point under enemy control.
Yeah. This guy was preparing for it. Okay, now we know.
Panzer crews have arrived.
But we've already committed to tier 3 at this point.
We can't move! Fight! You have orders for us?
A strategic point is being taken from us.
Get in contact with infantry!
This game is actually kind of weird. It's like 20 or 15 minutes in, and the VPs are still over 400.
A victory point is being neutralized.
Well, there was very little VP focus at the beginning. You're pretty much entirely focused on resources, which is the right thing to do. The VPs usually kind of come after. Oh, this is interesting. Okay.
Commandant, we have surplus command points that await allocation.
Yeah.
Our vehicle focus. No. No.
Yeah.
Frag grenades.
No communication from our Panzer 3.
Oh no. Okay. All right, I know what comes next. Take me to it.
Yeah. The clock definitely started ticking as soon as I saw that MG, their 50 cal.
Real?
We are losing cars for the victory point. Semovente assault guns are available to deploy, Commandant. Bersaglieri have been lost.
Oh yeah, so I was saving for a Tiger. I was like, the only way I can possibly combat what I know is coming is a Tiger, and unfortunately,
Victory point is being taken
some
from us.
ravels.
Heavy armor research complete.
You're actually better off. No, you're not tier 2, so you can't do that. I was gonna say you're better off with martyrs. But no, you're actually better off with the Stugs, I think. Here, you're not gonna make it to Tiger, but like this is out. He's gonna kill you. This
Territory overrun.
suspect.
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
My God.
Pack entering the field. We're
It's
losing
just-
ground for the victory point. The
Oh
enemy
my
has taken a
God.
victory point. We do not hold any.
I'm starting to think the Pershing's a good tank.
Supply lines are cut.
Double
Territory
pack,
is
okay.
isolated.
Oh, we did go Stugs. Oh, you know, that's a shame actually. I think if these were closer when we landed those 2 shots with the pack. So, when he's sitting in front of you like this and you've got your pack set up and your Stugs are coming in, to minimize his window to react, putting these on hold fire until the Stugs are coming in to land the first volley and then the Stugs to follow up gives him like the minimum window to try to get away, right?
Yeah, I like that.
And that would be like making the most of this opportunity because we hit him with the packs and then the Stugs came in, he had plenty of time to get away here. But actually, even better yet, like, you know, we may have been able to, like, if we had had these on hold fire, he might have committed a little bit more to try to get the kill on this. And that would have given us, again, closing more space, maybe another volley coming in from the packs here, and then follow up with the...
300 points remaining. Say again. 300 points remaining. Armory upgrade under. The enemy has claimed our Italian rifle net.
What is M13 spam? Yes, as discussed, this game.
Yeah.
This guy knew. And he suspected that it was coming, but it never came. Yeah, so if you're gonna play combined arms and you're not gonna go, so generally I say that like tier 2.5 is better, especially against UKF, but also like in general, because even, you know, if this comes out, you're much better off building a double martyr than the packs anyway. Because the martyrs are going to be more mobile. They actually also have more penetration, so you have a higher probability of getting through this armor. And then you can slowly make your way to the tier 3 in the late game. But yeah, I think the flak, and then in combination with the double Karos, like trying to commit and kill those half tracks, because those are the only things holding you back from just wiping his infantry with everything. Right? So tempo building the vehicles, and then what I've seen some players do is they actually hold them back until they get 2 of them. So you don't even show him the first one, right? You just kind of keep it in base and wait for the second one to come out, and then you make your move. And it's so overwhelming, and he's so unprepared for it that you can just finish the game in that move. Yeah. Anything else stand out to you about this game?
Well, I think this battle group, I really should have been, you know, getting a little bit more of a VP advantage.
Yeah.
And because he really just bided his time and then had this, you know, pretty good tank come out at the end and just completely run, you know, roughshod over everything.
Yeah. Yeah. This is that, like, yeah, if you the moment you recognize that you're playing against heavy weapons as DAK, you're on a timer. You've basically got between like 22 and 25 minutes to close the game out, or put him in such a bad position that even the Pershing won't bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, recognizing that he had just gone for the 1 GMC, using the Karos to fill that gap after your flak barreling, and then wait, just like, don't go tier 3, save the tier 3 for later, go into tier 2.5 and you can get the martyrs from there. You get your last vehicle upgrade access from there also. And then you can just play heavy in the mid game. BSL, Stugs, Karos, Martyrs as needed. And you try to close it out early. Because you just have to do that with this battle group anyways, but even more so against heavy weapons.
Mm-hmm. And to get Karos out in time to be effective in that, the mid game lull, you do have to kind of skip the Breda, I feel like, because
Yeah.
it's two VPs in the Cervantes 3, and it's so if I feel like if I go for Bredas, it just comes out so much. The Kara comes out too late, really.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a 5 CP tank. If you just go for the bolster, and bolster plus VSL is plenty to deal with the mid game of rifleman. And if he goes bars and you go Karos, he's fucked. Like he's completely screwed because he just burnt his fuel that he could potentially use for backup for the GMC on an anti-infantry weapon that is going to do nothing against your Karos, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to force. You don't want to allow his rifleman to scale, and you don't want him to be able to survive to that 23 to 25 minute mark where this is going to come out and just wreak havoc. Cool. Yeah, man. So I think overall, like your mechanics are so good. Like your map presence is really good. Your awareness is really good. I think it's the micro or the macro hangups in the mid game that are causing you some issues right now. Like the kind of uncertainty around like not really being sure what you should commit to or what you should get. I think getting really comfortable with like here, let me pull this. I'll find you a couple replays, but yeah, I think in general with the combined arms, either leaning into Karos or tier 2.5 is what I would be going if I were you. And the flak is still like, I think the flak is still your best starter unit. And then how your opponent is going to respond is they have two choices. They can either go light vehicles or AT guns. If they go AT guns, you go Stugs. If they go light vehicles, then you go Martyrs, right? But not before.
Right.
And that is going to allow you to build the pressure. And then, dude, like once you get through Karos, 7 CP, you get artillery cover. This you can use to literally end the game with a good vehicle push, because this is super powerful. Any vehicles it will smash that are standing still. Team weapons it'll completely toast as well. So this is like your game ending, like pushing a strong position ability. I'm sure you would have used it here if you had the munitions. You're a little bit shy. Yeah. And I think you'll find that like you're much more comfortable. Now it's a little like this strategy can be a little underwhelming in that regard because you don't get to play with the late game like big cats or like the P3s and stuff. But like this battle group is not really conducive to supporting that late game. There's too much of a gap, and what we're finding the more I play at the level that we're at, like that big mid-game gap for DAK is not something that you can allow to happen. You need to go for tier 2. And so the most competitive DAK games that I'm seeing are leveraging tier 2. Not that you don't go tier 3 eventually. You can if you make it to the late game. but you need to use the tier 2 to get more map control to help you get there and be more prepared. Because this tier 1, tier 3, it just like I've been trying it for months, and there hasn't been a single patch I've been able to make it work because there's just too much of a gap in the pressure that you're able to apply.
Yeah, I can really see that now.
Yeah.
I think that explains a lot of my struggles.
Yeah, man. If you layer that into everything that you're already doing, like I'm pretty confident you'll start winning a lot more. Because everything else that you're doing is very good. Couple other things that we missed out on. You're forgetting a sweeper a lot. You're not running into a lot of mines right now because I think you're not playing a lot of players that plant a lot of mines, but eventually you will. And mines are DAK is the worst faction to be hitting mines with because all of your tools are in your vehicles and not in not so much your team weapons or your infantry. And so you need to make sure that you're getting your sweeper. I mean, you're also getting a significant boost to your repair speed as well. So don't forget about that.
Right.
Yeah, your upgrades were good, and then also like post your next best vehicle. Getting VSL for your Bursas is going to help them perform better against infantry, even without the Bredas. The damage reduction kind of like breaks the time to kill on a lot of the different weapons, and you're going to bleed a lot less, and that's going to save you some more manpower for your later upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Any other like questions or things that are top of mind for you?
It didn't really come up in either of these games, but one question I had about the bike micro is I'm often like when I'm sending it to go capture, I'll do attack move or this or that, but I find that it almost always just runs right up close. So I was wondering if there's a do players at the highest level just kind of creep their bike around like within what they can already see in the fog of war, or are they sending it via attack move, or are they doing something different that I haven't thought of?
Attack move is like the general, like the safest way to bring any unit into an engagement. So like I'm using attack move like 90% of the time.
Mhm.
If there's no other units around, yeah, I don't really have an answer for you as to why your bike would be driving into your opponents if you're using attack move. The only reason
Maybe
I
it's
can
like
think of is like if they happen to break line of sight, then the bike is just going to keep driving forward even though there's a unit like close by, but if it doesn't have direct vision on it, it will just keep going.
Mhm.
But yeah, most of the time, dude, we're just attack moving, and then obviously once we run into an engagement, then we'll start microing it a little bit more and trying to get a good angle on whatever we're shooting at to make sure covered. But that's pretty much it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for going over all these replays. There's a bunch of, I think the Karos thing and the tier 3 in this battle group, that's really helpful. I'm definitely gonna try that part.
Yeah, you'll find like you won't be in that mid game limbo where you're like I could kind of tell, and I could kind of tell, I could sense it in you because I've experienced it myself, where I'm in that mid game and I've got my flak virling, I've had a very commanding early game, and I'm like, what do I do now? Like, like you want to go for tier 3, but it's so far away. And then you, like you said, you lose that momentum, and then it's kind of like your window of opportunity that you created for yourself is kind of closed. And then you end up pivoting to a series of late game units that frankly just aren't very good. Like P3's, relative to UK's tier 4 isn't great. You know, having to deal with like riflemen that have had fuel dumped in them because you've been waiting for tier 3 isn't nice either. So yeah, I think that will help you keep the pressure up and maximize like the strengths that you've been finding and using combined arms, and your games will end a lot quicker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, give it some practice and then, you know, play some more games and